Hello everyone, hello friends, my name is Autumn Grace and I accidentally started a clothing line. Hello everyone and welcome to my first installment of my video diaries on how I started my clothing brand. Or how I'm starting it. And if this is something that you're interested in doing yourself, hopefully these videos can be used as a resource for yourself to get started and for your own knowledge and for your own tools, for your own endeavors. Alright, how did I get here? So earlier last year, I was taking styling classes with FIT, just kind of floating through ideas of what I should do in my future, either starting my own business or doing something creatively within my own community. I eventually felt confident enough to put out my own sign to start an alterations business here in my own town. I thought it would be sustainable, and then I figured to myself, hey, I've been doing it for Penn State football for all these years, might as well just do it for myself, and for everyone else in the community. We all need alterations done. But I wanted to improve my sewing skills first before I started advertising myself. I'm confident in what I can do, but I want to be more confident in the things that I wasn't so confident in. So I started looking for classes. That brings us to the Sewing Center of New York City. So for a month I stayed at my nanny's house in New Jersey, took the New Jersey Transit into Manhattan every single day to take the fashion design course at the New York City Sewing Center. Now let me tell you a little bit about the New York Sewing Center. If you are interested in textiles or fashion design, but you're not quite sure if you want to go into it like college-wise, like, you know, take like a whole degree on it, I would say taking these courses first will really either show you if you want to do it or if you think this is enough knowledge for you as an individual, or if you're like, I really don't want to do textiles or fashion. These classes were really amazing. So the New York Sewing Center isn't only a place of learning, but also a co-op space for other creatives in the area. You have access to the space with a membership fee or an hourly fee, and you have access to the machines and the people there, and the space or even like storage space. It has a lot to offer. Maybe it's because I'm not so much of a cynic anymore, but the New York Sewing Center was extremely welcoming and very friendly. I was chatting with my entire class and the people in the room, even if we were just working, you know, we're all just hanging out. There was ample room to like work by yourself or work with other people and to connect with other creatives. My classes was never more than 10 to 15 people. I actually had a class to where there was just 2 of us, so we had plenty of time and space to do one-on-one time with the instructor. What classes did I take within this course? I took the fashion design course that featured 4 classes of your choice, but 1 mandatory class out of the 4, which is the fashion design class. Makes sense because it's the fashion design course. Who would have thought? The fashion design course is taught by the owner of the New York Sewing Center, so it's really great to have like that one-on-one time with her. And I'd say that fashion design class is the one that inspired me the most, despite me wanting to take those sewing classes the most in the beginning. I've cried from happiness twice in that fashion design class. Like, you know, I really learned a lot. And it brought, like, you know, just spouts of creativity. I took the Sewing 101 class, which is their basic sewing class. Even though I consider myself a very skilled seamstress, you can never hurt going back to the basics. And let me tell you, I learned a couple of things in this basic class. Being a self-taught seamstress is really wacky compared to a professionally taught seamstress, and my teacher was flabbergasted by how the things that I did, because like when you teach yourself something, you really just be going for it. You gotta figure it out the way you can, or you're not gonna do nothing. I took the Clone Your Clothes class, which is basically a basic pattern making class. And then I took the denim class, which was really amazing to kind of just learn about different textiles and also how different fabrics react to different patterns. And, you know, being like, denim is just super cool, and I wanted to take that class. Now, this is what I learned in the design class. I really loved what I learned, and I honestly, you can't get everything that I learned from this video. You're gonna have to take the class yourself if you want to, but hopefully this will sell you on the class, because honestly, chef's kiss, I'd take this class again. I'd spend the money on it again. Our teacher gave us a lot of exercises on what we wanted our brands to be and the goals we wanted for our brand. She put us in touch with factories in the area in the garment district. She put us in touch with small pattern makers in the area. And she also took us on a few tours of factories that she introduced us to. I thought it was really amazing to get to know some of these people in the factories and also see everyone working so hard on all these designs and all these garments, like, you know, within their little spaces and their sewing machines. It was really amazing to meet the women who own these factories and to see the workflow of everyone in there. She also took us to some popular fabric shops in the garment district. Now that's something that I really had to learn, to not be afraid to shop in anything but a Joann Fabrics, because you really gotta like get to know the textiles and the feelings, and also just how to buy from mom and pop shops, but also bigger stores in the garment district. Before taking these classes, I actually lived in New York City for a year, and I never had the guts to go into the garment district and to go into these small mom and pop shops or these bigger mom and pop or these bigger shops for fabric, because I was just like, oh, what if they yell at me? No, just go in there, know what you want, and it's fine. Stop being a baby, just go in. So, and that's what I learned. I actually made a lot of really great pals while buying fabric from these people. I don't know, maybe it was just great customer service, but I'd say we're friends. But to give myself a little bit of credit, I really just didn't know where to start. It really is a concrete jungle out there. Looking out the window of the sewing center, you can just see small factories just stacked on top of each other, looking through the windows of the other windows across the street. Every single one of these places serving a different purpose in the garment district and in the world. The fashion world. Like, there's literally little shops in the garment district just for sewing on buttons, or just for putting in zippers, or specializes in just indigo dyeing. And it really makes me think that we take these things for granted, especially with fast fashion right now. There is someone who specializes in putting in the buttons in our jeans, and we just don't think about that. Before taking this clothing design class, I felt like my brain had a dam in it that held back all of my ideas and dreams of wanting to become a designer. I never thought that it was attainable, and I never thought that I could create something professionally that people would want to buy. Again, I wasn't originally here for the design classes. I was here for the sewing classes. But after taking these design classes, it really gave me the tools and the connections that I needed creatively, and the dam broke. And then after the dam broke, I knew it was obtainable, and I knew that my designs could become a reality. Now let's talk about my favorite tool for fashion designing. Maybe my army Swiss knife of fashion designing, if you will. Get a fashionary sketchbook. Get a fashionary sketchbook. These books are not only sketchbooks, but it gives you the terms that you would need anything fashion-wise for taking to the factory to get your point across. In a separate video, I'll probably talk about my experience going to the factory and talking with the factory, and how we got my prototypes made and patterns made with the factory. Okay, now fast forward. Speaking of factory, you pick a design to show to the factory, you give them the fabric you want them to make the prototype out of, and then bada bing, bada boom, if you're lucky, you like the pattern and you like the prototype you made and then you're on your way happy with a wonderful prototype. Lucky for me, my drawing was well communicative, and they were easily able to get my point across, and was able to make my prototype and pattern, and I was happy the first time. So be sure to bring a proper flat with you when you go to the factory, so you don't have to do this 400 times, because it is expensive. It cost me around $450 to get the pattern in the first prototype done. Now it's time for someone to do your embroidery. Lucky for me, I knew a guy. He got my stuff done quick and got both of my prototypes done. We got the point across of what I wanted, he got it done for me quick, and now both of my prototypes are done. Now what? Now it's time for you to stare at it until you hate it, gather a bunch of people that you think would be interested in buying your brand, but really you're asking all the sexy nerds you work with at your job to see what they think about your product. They'd look good in my clothes, I'm telling you what. The professional world calls this a focus group, and ask them what they like and dislike about your product. Okay, so decisions were made for our prototypes to not go through or to go through certain things. For the collared shirt, the otaku words will be a little bit more gray than black, so they're a little bit more visible but still subtle. And the lace otaku top will only have otaku on the collar instead of all over the shirt. So now that we've made that decision, it's time for us to get these patterns grafted and find bulk fabric to buy and start sewing. But hell, that's it for now. I'll see you again in the next episode. Mwah. Thank you so much everyone for watching this first installment of my fashion journey. Let me know if you want to learn anything more. I will come out with a introduction to my brand next, probably, because as I was making this video, I was like, hey, no one knows what I'm talking about. I gotta at least show them what I'm designing. But alright everyone, like this video if you did. If you didn't subscribe to me, you'll get more of me. Alright everyone, have a good day. Bye-bye. Mwah.